All right. So, hey guys. For the ones that joined early, anyways. Um, so I started this stream a little earlier than I normally do because I have to configure an account. Um, so I'll be announcing this game after the stream starts. So just so you guys know what's up before we get there. As part of a little thing I'm trying out because I for the last like year and a half I've been talking about how nice it is for new players to pick stuff up or how easy it is for them to do X or Y. I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's go. So what I've done is I've installed the North American client for the game because I run on the Asia server for people that actually pay attention to the very rare times it comes up in discussion. So I've made an account on the actual like North American server, and I'm going to try creating an account over the next month and seeing exactly how it goes from the ground up. Yeah, it's going to be kind of an interesting little experiment to do. See exactly how strong a new account can get after 1 month. A free to play, mind, right? It's definitely staying free to play. I'm not going to be spending any money on this account because I do kind of want this to be a decent representation of how a new player is going to approach the game. So, yeah, that's pretty much the game plan here. So just before the patch goes live, I'm making sure all the tutorial stuff is taken care of, or at least as much of it as I can, kind of thing. All right, and we got capsules. Good. All right, and that's all the important stuff I have to do. So when we start later, all is good. I'm not going to claim any of that because I want to see what it looks like on a brand new account once, yeah, pretty much the game plan. Oh, wait, do I have alteration on this? Ooh, I'm not going to have alteration on that. Okay, I'll have to hop back to my main account briefly to check out alterations, but that's fine. I can have that loading while we look at the Twitter videos. What are we at? We got a minute still until the patch goes up. Cool beans. Cool beans. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. I've especially with what's coming out this week. So, but I don't expect there to be much of an issue getting Haro chips, especially through story. Because we're at what, like chapter 19 now or something like that. There's a lot of Haro chips between that, free missions, and everything else. Yeah. Alright, I should turn on my actual game client here. There we go. What I am going to do, I'm going to add these to the home screen here really quick. Nah, you know what? Screw that, I won't. Okay. That way I'm not showing my app list every time. Chapter 19, cost for... So yeah, like I said, I'm not concerned at all. So, I'll wait until the actual stream starts for me to talk about the new, the entire thing. But I am going to be doing status updates during the week on the account. And I will be doing more streaming for GBM outside of just the one. It's actually what, if you've been watching my daily streams that I was doing at the end of last week, I actually rebuilt my schedule around adding another day for GBM content. And that's what this actually is for. So on Tuesday, today, at this time slot, I'll be doing my normal GBM content streams. And then 2 days from now, on Thursday nights, EST, I'll be doing a second stream for GBM, because that's typically when we've been getting our later in the week drops with new suits, like how we had Miss Sazabi. And I'll be following that up with playing the new GBM account. So that's kind of the 2-point process for that I'm looking at for the GBM stuff. But if it turns out that people really enjoy watching that new account play and stuff, then I might shift in another day for streaming it just because. Pretty much night. That's kind of what I'm expecting. the game is really friendly to new players, so I don't think there's going to be much difficulty in kitting out a brand new account. So, anyways, as the patch has gone up, let's get cracking. I'm going to do the same loop that I always do. I'm going to look at the event stuff, going to check out gacha, Twitter, alterations, pretty much the normal loop. We're so fresh into this patch, it doesn't even have the images. Oh, those are the 6 million the 6 million campaign images. Yeah. Of course, those would be busted. So what did I get as a returning player for these? So I didn't really look too much at the images for rewards. Premium capsule tickets. Jesus. That's... Wow. Okay. I'll take that. Cripes. And I guess I'll drop that now, because that also lets me load up the gacha page, so I don't have to worry about it. Wow. Absolutely nothing loaded. Holy smokes. Alright, let's see what I get here real quick. And then we'll go take a look at the event suit and go from there. Nice. All new parts, too. Hot Scrambles Beam Saber. The Yakushiki Kai arms. Alright. Those actually don't look too bad. Yeah, it's got the magazine too. Another arm magazine. Sign me up. And an actual crossbone torso. Cool beans. Alright. Anyways, let's get looking at the event suit and we'll get going from there. Alright, origin device. Yeah, this week we get another Grandpa, which is interesting. I personally think we've seen enough of the Grandpa suits, but what do I know? Yeah. 4K shot defense at 90 gold mark after alter. Yeah, you got to do a lot of investment, but yeah, I see the bonus. All right, so Gundam the Origin early type head. Head mounted Vulcan. All right, so that's garbage. Moving right along. Gundam type 4 space word tags. Gundam type is a nice tertiary tag, pretty flexible, lots of uses. I don't have any real complaints about that one, so good stuff. As for stats, so we're looking at just under 1,000 melee attack on the head. For a welfare head, more focused on shot, that's not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. And then for shot, we're looking at about 3,500, 3,550 or so, around there. For a welfare head, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. No real complaints on the stats. The EX skills complete wash and the tags, 50% workable. Torso, shoulder magnum, D power 7 magazine. Wow. That sure is something. That's something. What Gundam series or movie are you excited to stream on Gundam Info's YouTube channel? I'm probably misunderstanding your question because I don't recall making any kind of things with Gundam Info to stream on there. But if he's going to be choosing a series to stream and streaming it, Seed. All the way. Always Seed. Oh, you came in grab your laundry?
I can't move it.
It should be fine. I've noticed that even if we leave stuff in there for a while, it doesn't get moldy or anything.
Well, I mean, it's only been there.
I know, but I mean, like, the days where it's left in there like an hour. It's not wet enough. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's just not wet. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I'd totally like to see him stream Seed. Not that I need him to stream Seed, because I got the entire thing, but can't hurt to see more of it. Alright, anyways, the CX skill, D-Power. It's useless. Gundam type 4 space. Alright, cool. Pretty much the same as the head when it comes to the word tags. Exactly the same when it comes to the word tags. And the stats on the torso. Okay, so we're looking at about 1,400 or so shot attack. Yeah, 1,400 or so shot attack and about 1,300 melee. For torso, those are some pretty good numbers. Do keep in mind it's rare to see a welfare break 1k, or not rare, but that's kind of the new average, 1k, 1-1, 1-2. So seeing this break that on both is nice. Place some new groundbreaking skills or traits, the game is getting boring. I don't know if that would really help it though. Like, this is kind of the fate of all mobile games after a period of time. Whether you're playing, you know, the most popular games, right? Whether you're playing something like Genshin, or if you're playing, you know, Honkai, Fate Grand Order, Arc Knights, any of these games that have been running for a hot minute, you're going to run into the same issue where they get boring. And it's not really something you can easily address, because it's kind of the fate of all mobile games, you know, where you play the same game for a while, it's gonna get boring. I mean, like, Mandela has an ICX. Oh, that's what. Okay, so when it comes to seeing like really unique EX skills or traits or stuff, like where we had the ground Zaku with its really cool backpack, right, or the Mandala with its really nice EX skill, I don't know. Like, it would be nice, absolutely would be nice to see more of that, but simultaneously, this is a, like, the grandpa suit. I truly do not expect to see anything amazing on this in terms of a cinematic cutscene or anything. If it was something more iconic, or something more unique, I think is the best way to put it, a unique welfare suit, I would expect it. So I think the first time we see a non-humanoid welfare or something, that's big brain time right there. That's what I'm looking forward to. Hey, Sukiya, what's up, buddy? Anyways, as I was saying, stats on this torso, good stuff. The EX skill, it has D power. No. And the word tags, one of them is workable, one of them I don't like. And let's move right along to the arms. Forearm mounted Gatling gun also has D power and 11 in the magazine. So, that's interesting. Melee attack, we're looking at about 3,600, 3,700 or so melee attack. And then as for shot, we're looking at 1,400 or so. Yeah, and then Gundam Type 4 space again. From the perspective of a not new player, this suit is pretty much an aesthetic suit. From the perspective of a new player, do recall that D power skills will still do damage. Not as much as, obviously, a B plus or an A or S, whatever. But for the stat pool that people that need this kind of stuff are going to be fighting against, it won't be that bad. It scales poorly the stronger you are, but at low levels, this is adequate. Oh. If only you guys could have heard that. That was some nasty back cracking. Alright, anyways. Yeah, so the arms, okay. Actually, let me double check the shot on that. Yeah. Post Super Sokai, that's pretty standard for a welfare. Alright, legs. When in space category, EX skill power boosts by 25%. So this is one of those really, like, rare... I will actually say build kit was fun. Yeah, building kits is completely different from seeing, like, having the mech in-game, right? Like, same can be said for a lot of tasks. They're way more fun in real life than they are through a virtual interface, and it's just the nature of it. Building a Gunpla, any Gunpla is going to be really, really exciting to build if you enjoy it, right? Building the suit or the suit itself. But when it comes to a game like this, because your only real accomplishment with this one would be any unique traits or EX skills it has, it's not like it's the first Gundam model we've seen, right? The old grandpa. It's probably got some tweaks on it from the actual original frame model, but if you're not a super fan of the suit, right? Anyways, again, besides the point. As I was saying, this is one of those rare scenarios where 4 space may actually be useful to stack on the suit if you're going to run this trait. So, for this to activate, you need to be fighting on a map that's classified as space. We have very few of these maps available in the pool, and to double up on that, in most modes you aren't able to select the map you're even fighting on. So even though it does give a very, very powerful 25% boost to your EX skill power, the requirement to actually get it to activate makes it not very feasible. And that's kind of the same issue I have with the entire 4 line of tags is, yeah, it's cool that it gives you a 5% boost to all of your stats when you're fighting on the right map. But because you don't have a lot of control over that part of it, yeah. Hey, Rujan, what's up? The 4X tags might not be the best, but it's at least a good trait. We just need more of these traits. Honestly, there's 2 ways to fix this. Two ways. The first way to fix it, obviously, yes, allow us to actually pick the map that we're playing on, with the exception of custom missions and multi-missions. Those really should be the only times that, or story missions, right? Because it may be story dependent. But if we're doing a free mission, if we're doing a battle circuit mission, whatever, we should have the ability to pick the map we're playing on, right? But I can understand locking it down for certain modes for one reason or another. The other way to fix it would be to overhaul the 4 line of tags. Because, yes, originally they were even worse. It was a general 1% boost to everything, or a 3% boost if you were on the right map. And then they increased it to 3% if you were on any map, and 5% if you were on the correct map type, right? Problem is, so if you're running on a 3% boost, which is the norm, because most maps aren't going to be the one that you've kitted out for, so you have 3% in all of your stats across the board. You might go, well, I'm getting 3% in my offensive stat as well as my defensive stat. That should work out. No. It unfortunately really doesn't. So because it's all percentage based, the TLDR is because you're getting 3% pushed over. So let's say you have a 4-star gear that carries over like the 30% or whatever, right? What's 30% of the 3% that you're getting, right? You're looking at approximately 1 point something percent, 1.12 or something, whatever, a low 1 point something percent. You add that onto the 3, like, yeah, sure, you're losing 0.8% of an offensive stat by running it off. It's, oh, whatever, it's less than 1%, who cares? That adds up to a lot when you're running a suit that has 120k plus primary offensive stat, right? All of a sudden, that less than 1% is 1,000 plus stat points, which could be a big deal in that bracket. And it just scales worse the higher it goes. For the normal average user, it doesn't really matter. You could argue the 4 line of tags are pretty good because it gives you 3% to everything. But for the absolute min-maxers, and really, when you look at all the other tags that we have available, all these other tags that have just a 5% boost that'll outclass the 4 line of tags, there's just really no point. In an absolutely perfect scenario, the 4 line of tags are the ideal tertiary because they give you 5% to everything. So not only does your offensive stat get a 5% boost, but your defensive stat gets a 5% boost, which then 30% of that boost gets carried over back into your offensive stats anyways. So it's really, really good. It's just the problem, we don't have any ability to choose the map. So the long and short, only 2 ways to balance this out. First one, allow us to pick the map on more content so that we can actually make use of this tag, or simply change the tag and what it does, even though now thematically it makes sense. Yeah, 3% in every stat would make up in 10%. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting at, though. It's nice that you can get, 3% in all of your stats, but it's still, on average, better to get the 5% offensive of your primary stat, potentially with the 5% defense for your stat, too, right? That would be the best min-max you can ask for. And in a perfect scenario, that's what the 4 line of tags would do for you as well. It's just the requirements for those tags require you to line up with a attribute you'd have no control over, the map you're playing on, except in very specific scenarios, versus just passively always active. So it's a case of, do I want my suit to be able to run on every single map without worrying about it, or do I want to have to worry about changing up whatever 4 tag I have every map to work out the last few percent? And it's just not worth the fight at that point. Yeah, 8% in the right map, 3% elsewhere. I'm trying to figure out where you're getting your extra percents from, Mana, because it should be 3%. It's actually, yeah, let me go back really quick here to the arms. It's 3% on normal maps. Ah, okay. Raises all parameters 3%. Space gets an extra 5%. The wording on that's ambiguous, though. Is it 5% boost or an 8% boost? Because even though the text says the category gets an extra 5% boost, let's be real, a lot of the translations aren't exactly the best. I'm not going to argue, you know, if the Japanese text says that it's 3% normally, 5% extra if you're running the map, cool. But it still runs into the same issue of, yeah, they're really good if you can run the correct map, but outside of that, they just lose out overall. And because we don't have the ability to choose the map that we play on, is it really worth, you know, throwing away the extra stats that you could just run blanket on everything? Anyways, legs. Let's get back on this. So as I was saying with this, if we're able to pick our maps, this is nice. You get 25% EX skill power boost, but we don't currently have too much control over that in enough modes, so this is just not really useful. Gundam type heavy armor tags. We got away with the force space, and now we have heavy armor instead. Heavy armor is a interesting tertiary tag. There are a few nice traits that it activates. Okay, you know. I find it interesting, though, that heavy armor benefits shot. Typically, shot machines should be a little more agile. But anyways, unless they're like a fortress type. Besides the point, statistically, we're looking at about 1,200 or so melee attack. Remember, legs and backpack are typically the lowest statted frame parts of a suit, offensively. Seeing them break, you know, 1,000 on a welfare is nice. So this one does very easily do that, so good job. As for shot, we're looking at about 1,400 or so. Pretty much the same as what I said for melee. Nice. Good stuff. Backpack. Shoulder cannon. B power, D pierce, low cooldown. Okay. On paper, this looks like a really nice EX skill. Low cooldown, quick shot, B power. It really comes down to the animation, but I don't really see this being too much of an issue with its cooldown. Gundam type heavy armor again. Cool, I've already talked about that, so I'll pass. Melee attacks, it's at about, what, 1,400? 1,400 change? Yeah. It's good for a real good for a backpack. As for shot, a little more restrained. We're looking at about 1,400 change or so. But overall, very good numbers offensively. The tags, it does have Gundam type. Obviously, it's the Gundam. And it has an interesting split between force, space, and heavy armor. So that's interesting. All right, Beam Saber. Beam Saber. When armor is 80% or less, non-EX skill crit rate boosted by 30%. Problem is, yeah, crit rate's bad. That's pretty much it, because crit's bad. Gundam Virtue says, yeah, like I said, or Fortress types. Because those are the only two things that ever shoot in Gundam. Super fast, or doesn't move and just sits in place and goes burr. Don't EXs auto crit anyways. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like what they mean by non-EX skill crit. Like that's so weird to me. The phrasing of that is so oddly specific. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Crit rate, no, because crit's bad. That's the summary of it. It doesn't matter. Gundam type, force space, okay. And statistic, oh, that's a lot of melee defense. So we're looking at about 3,800 melee attack, which is really cool. Good stuff. Good beam saber. Good, good, good. Beam rifle. Come on. When in space category, much like we saw before, job gauge increase boost by 13%. I still don't think that job gauge is really that great, or the buffs that it brings are really worth it. I think there's much better to, work towards. So, not doing it for me. You know what? When I was reading the non-EX skill, my brain was parsing it incorrect, because I've always referred to EX as just EX, not EX skill. So it's non-EX skill. And I'm like, we have skills that aren't EX? What? Don't mind me. Clearly, I need to put more fish in the diet. Got to keep my brain going. Although, okay, no, because that means it will cover melee and shot crits. And because, like, don't we already have strings for those types of crits? It's like, oh, yeah, right. Melee crit. Easy way to say both. It's just non-EX skill crit. Anyways. Yeah, so I've already talked about the trait Gundam type, force space, interesting set of tags. I've already talked about it to death with this suit. As for stats, we're looking at about 300 change melee attack. Interesting to see a little bit of that token melee carryover. And for shot, see what you get, 3,800. Not bad for a welfare beam rifle. That's really nice to see for shot. It has a little bit of token melee on there as well, which is pretty rare for welfare stuff, so cool beans. Yeah, I do agree with you there, Knight. I do actually really like the way this beam rifle is laid out. Looks quite sleek. My favorite weapon type, Bazooka. Against enemy with neutral attribute, shooting damage output boosted by a flat number. Yeah, no, flat numbers are garbage. The only time that this is actually useful is in extremely low power brackets where 20 damage is actually a big deal. But you wouldn't want that on a bazooka. You'd want this on like an SMG or something where it's doing a lot of damage. So this really racks up for a very slow attacking. Excuse me. For a very low attack speed weapon like a bazooka, this really isn't that good. Gundam type, heavy armor tags, workable, and stats pretty much exactly what we saw with the previous beam rifle. So good stuff. And our shield. Cooldown time up 15%, shooting power boosted by 25%. So for brand new players, this actually is not a terrible trade-off. You don't really care too much about your EX cooldowns because you're not building hard into EX cooldowns or anything yet, or the cooldown reductions. And the shooting power boost will help. Do remember, it is different gameplay styles when you're a low ranked player versus someone that's been playing for a long time or has enough cooldown reduction skills. Lower tier typically is a lot of neutral attacks, your sword swings, your shots and stuff. So this is actually a decent trade-off. But once you start moving into using your skills, obviously you don't want to have any cooldown time increases. Yeah, that's what I mean, Knight. 25% shot boost as like a brand new player is huge, and you don't have cooldown reduction anyway, so all of your skills are going to be what's on the tin for cooldowns, right? Look at it this way, okay? I am a brand new player. I get a cutscene skill that has a 20-second initial cooldown. This adds 3 seconds to that. When you're a brand new player, the difference between 20 and 23 seconds does not matter. That 25% shooting power boost matters a lot. Obviously, this changes once you get to a certain point in the game, where the difference between 2 seconds and 3 seconds is game over. But early on, it doesn't matter at all. It's a totally worth it trade-off. Okay, as for stats, we get a lot of melee KO over here. We're looking at about 700, 800 melee attack. good stuff. And then for shot, we're looking at about, what, 1100, 1200? Cool beans. Cool beans. Nice shield. Yeah, honestly, so on my new account, I'm definitely going to be picking up this suit. I need to stop hitting my mic all the time. Anyways, my new account, I'm definitely picking up this suit because, yeah, good stuff. All right. And Origin Device B. So we have Close Combat, Zaku Type, Ace Exclusive, Amphibious, and 4 Urban. I could definitely use Ace Exclusive in Close Combat. Okay. Then we have the Arios, the Ale Strike, and the Zeta. None of them really stand out to me naming-wise. I don't remember much about any of them, which I guess kind of tells about how useful they were in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, so I may as well talk about it now that I'm done looking at the welfare. I brought it up. So I've been kind of hinting at this for the last couple of weeks now, and I made a big change to my normal streaming schedule at the end of last week to make up for it. So what I'm doing, I've always been talking about how there's lots of power creep in GBM, and how new players will have a very easy time catching up with the power boosts and everything that they have. So I decided, you know what, let's put it to the test. So what I'm doing is I've downloaded the global or the North American server for the game, because currently I'm playing on the Asia server, just due to a hiccup at the beginning of the game, and I never bothered to correct it, so here we are. Anyways, so I've downloaded the North American client, I've created an account on there, and I'm going to keep it completely free to play. What I'm going to do is, over the course of the next month, I'm going to be playing that account daily, seeing exactly how far I can take a brand new account without spending a single dollar on it, and I'll be checking in twice a week with the account for you guys. Potentially more if you guys enjoy it and, you know, kind of want to follow along a little more closely. It'll be during this content stream. I'll be using my new account to look over all this new stuff. And every Thursday, I'll be doing another stream with the account because we seem to be getting a lot of content drops on Thursday nights, Eastern Standard Time. That is Friday JST, but here it's Thursday nights. So that's kind of the game plan for me. So with that in mind, yeah, that's kind of the plan. So I'll continue looking over the rest of this. Once I'm done, I'm actually going to hop right onto my new account and start playing, because what better time to start than now? Okay, so we are here. I'm going to take a look at the Vargil, however the hell you pronounce that suit's name. Honestly, it looks really cool. It's definitely not mono eye bias, I swear, guys. Then we'll look at the pilots, and then we'll continue on from there as normal. And then we have the 7-star Zabanya. I'm just going to look at the Zabanya and alteration, honestly. Yeah, 7-star stats. Why even worry? Are you going to look at the Miss? Yeah, I'll also take a look at the Miss Sazabi, because I obviously missed that as it dropped last week, which I'm hoping to remedy this week going forward with my new Thursday night stream for GBM. So anyways, let's take a look at good old Mono Eye Var. Oh. Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Nice. That's... I'm definitely using my tickets on that. Oh, yeah, doggy. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, I think that's kind of why I liked it so much, is because... Oh, again, gotta stop punching the mic. I think that's why I liked it so much, is as soon as I saw it, the first thought in my mind was, wow, that reminds me of the Moon Gundam. And that would probably be why it's the Moon Gundam. But yeah, if you guys remember when I originally saw the Moon Gundam, I do really just enjoy the aesthetics of that suit. So it's no surprise that putting a mono eye on it makes me look at it and go, oh yes. All right. Anyways, the old head for Var. While mid-range, EX skill piercing boost by 28%. EX skill pierce is how much of the enemy's defense and resistances that the skill ignores on impact. So 28% is a relatively healthy amount of that. So that's nice. It's a shame, obviously, that it's not some kind of offensive boost, but this also isn't a Sokai or anything or a limited suit, so it makes sense that it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. All right, stats. We're looking at about... Wow. So about 5,500 or so shot attack. Damn. All right. And then for melee, we're looking at about 1,500. Honestly, for a pick ticket suit, we're fucking good. Good stuff. Mid-range, Ace exclusive word tags. Mid-range is a nice tertiary for shot. Ace exclusive is core for shot with its 10% boost. Overall, for a non-limited suit, it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. All right, torso. The PU banners up to 1/100 Zeta, you get a lot of value. Yeah, I'll take a more in-depth look once I'm done this and I've turned on the new account. I'm so early in that game, I haven't even done my first mission yet. So, anyways, torso. When C powers over 300,000 EX skill power boosts by 30%. So this isn't something that you'll be able to take advantage of instantly as a new player, but as someone that's played this game for probably less than a week, you should be able to reach this relatively quick. And the 30% EX skill power boost, that's obviously quite nice. Good stuff overall. I have no real complaints about this. Mid-range, Ace exclusive tags again, good stuff. And then for stats, we're looking at about 2,400 or so shot attack, and we're looking at about 1,400 melee, around there-ish. For torso, that's really good. That's really good. That's a lot of shot. Putting some Sokai suits to shame with those numbers, actually. Mid-range Ace exclusive. Yeah, like no complaints. That's a baller torso. Arms. Butterfly Edge. A+ Pierce. D power. Why though? Mid-range Ace exclusive again. No physical resist. Aight. As for stats, about 5,000 melee attack. Excuse me. And about, what, 2,250 or so shot? Kind of around there. I have no complaints about the numbers this suit is putting out. Like, for a standard suit, these are some pretty fucking crazy numbers. Ugh. Arms the same EX as the Moon. Yeah, except, you know, the Moon also had that really powerful backpack that still makes it a memorable suit. I haven't seen anything like that on this one yet. Yeah, I noticed that the text said that it was a yeet, but as it had D power, I didn't really see much of a point in talking about it because that's completely fucking worthless. Anyways, legs. With Axe category equipped, mid-shot attack raised by 20%. Do keep in mind your mid-shot attack, close range shot attack, or close shot attack, and long range shot attack just refer to the distance between you and your opponent when you're using a neutral attack. It doesn't count for EX skills or anything. So honestly, if you're not using your neutral shots to do the beef of your damage, this is completely worthless, and it only buffs mid-range, meaning it's only really going to see maximum effect on guns that get a boost from that distance, like beam rifles. Yeah, man, Moon Alteration. Ooh, that backpack though. All right, Mid-range Xeon. So we've gotten rid of our Ace exclusive and we're bringing the Xeon tag. Okay. And then for stats, we're looking at about 1300 or so melee attack. And then for shot, we're looking at about 24 around there, 2400, 23, 24. For pair of legs, like I mentioned earlier when I was looking at the welfare, legs in the backpack are typically the lowest defensively statted. This one's pretty good. Good stuff. Backpack. Funnel combination. Launch 6 funnels and throw a beam Tommy. So this is a cutscene. This isn't a actual proper funnel skill. So that does give it that A- power instead of the normal D power that we're used to seeing. It does have cutscene cooldown. Obviously, you know, it's a cutscene. I just feel a little weird that it has A- power. All things considered, there's no alteration for the suit. I doubt we'll see one in any near future from now. Kind of sad they didn't just make it A+ and call it a day. It's not like it's going to encroach on anything, you know, in any of the limited pools. Especially considering there's no boosts or anything, it's just straight damage. I'm looking forward to seeing the animation for it. Overall, it's a okay cutscene EX. Is the back a reuse of the Sazabi back? Most likely. Stats. So we're looking at about 1700 or so melee attack on this. Pretty solid stuff. As for shot defense, we're carrying over. Shot probably sits at about, what, 24, 25? 24, 25, around there. Yeah. No complaints on the offense. Like, this suit is packing shot damage. For a standard pool suit, this is a lot of shot. Mid-range Xeon. Yep. All right. All right. That is not a tomahawk. That is a beam sword. I don't care that the handle has the halberd blade. That's not a halberd. That's not an axe. That is not a tomahawk. If anything, you could be generous and call it a rapier. That's not a tomahawk. How long is this shit? Anyways, when mid-range, all enemy cooldown time up 14%. Okay. That's a part to keep an eye out for when it hits the pick ticket pool. Like, not even ironically, you got a free 23% cooldown force on your enemies. And because it affects all enemies, you can put this on a support suit. I like you. All right. Stats-wise, we have a token 400 or so shot attack. Good stuff. And melee, you see what you get. Or what you see is what you get. 5,200, 5,300. Good stuff. And, you know, you may not be a tomahawk, but I'll let you call yourself a tomahawk. Because I think you're decent enough as a standard pool beam saber to kind of call yourself whatever you want at that point. Okay. Grenade launcher, A+ Pierce, D power. Why? Anyways, 5,600 carryover, so 57, 5,800 or so shot attack. Again, standard suit, good stuff. Mid-range Ace exclusive, pretty much great minus the grenade launcher. The Ace exclusive take's really nice to see back on that. I wish they had put it on the beam tomahawk, but is what it is. Anyways, what is with this new wave of shitty spammers? I don't think I'll ever understand them. Anyways, cool stuff. Honestly, that suit has a lot of shot packed into it. I don't have a lot of complaints about it. Looks good, good shot, good trainers. Cool beans. Cool beans. All right, let's take a look at our pilots for this week. We'll take a look at Mr. Uman first, and we'll roll over to Lucrezia. Lucrezia? Luke. Yeah, it's pretty much it, right, Kyle? You see a really cool skill and you're like, oh yeah, you see D power? Oh no. All right. When physical resist is over 5,000, non-EX skill crit rate boosted by 30%. We just talked about why that's not okay. Moving along. Pro tag, close combat. Nice. That's a really healthy combination of word tags for a fucking long shooter. All right. Yeah, no, so those tags are really good for a literally anything but shot related job license. Are we following the theme of last week where we just cripple a pilot by giving them like conflicting stuff? I don't understand. If that's going to be the theme, sure, but what? Okay. And then for stats, okay, he's got a good amount of shot attack. He's pushing past 2K. 3-star pilot, good stuff. You will have to, if you want to use this guy, you either put him on the back slot as a token character, on the custom skin as a token character, or you back slot someone that has actually good word tags. I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. This is just... Anyways, let's look at Lucrezia. Luke. When attacking with beam, very easy to do for melee and shot. All power boosted by 30%. Nice. I can get behind that. High mobility, ace exclusive. So you got a really powerful primary tag with ace exclusive. High mobility is a decent tertiary tag. Yeah. Thing is though, again, her job license doesn't really match up with the word tags here. She's sitting there with her Outfighter job license with the ace exclusive word tag. High mobility does work with her tag at least. Ace exclusive though, she is an ace. Why is I don't know, man. I don't even work here. All right. Melee and shot attack are actually pretty beefy for a 4-star, all things considered. So we're looking at about 2,700, 2,750 or so melee attack, and we're looking at about, what, 2,600, 2,650 shot? Considering non-altered, not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. Her trait works for both melee and shot, which is nice. Her stats are decent for a 4-star pilot. No real complaints there. Word tags, one of them is workable. One of them is, why do you exist on this pilot tier? I don't even know what's going on anymore, man. This is some weird shit. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes, you know? Anyways, alteration. So let's go take a look at those Twitter videos. Let's see if we can weasel in Miss Sazabi as well. That'd be the dream. Let's see. Does it still hook into the right monitor? Yes. All right, good. Sometimes it doesn't, and it confuses me. So we'll start off from the top. Let's look at you. What do we got? Pretty much what everyone was expecting. Yep, a yeet. It's a shame that it's crappy power. And the cutscene. You know, I don't know what I was expecting, you know, it being a standard suit and everything. But, I don't know. Its only good EX skill is statistically horrible. Alright, next suit. What do we got? Alright, wow us. Alright, Trans Am. Who could have foreseen this from a 00 suit? Nipple cannons. Alright, cool. Ah, the cutscene. Not terrible. It's okay. We do already have this suit. This is a new attribute version of the suit. Sometimes there are differences in the EX skills, which is why I'm watching the videos for it. But, yeah. Yeah, they pretty much recycled the previous suit. Did you know the guy who's using this suit originally couldn't use the funnels and ended up throwing one? Yeah, I'm truly not. That sounds like a Gundam thing. Alright, so that's all cool beans. Now I wonder, can we find Miss Sazabi in here? Among the sea of stuff. Yeah! Alright, let's take a look. What does the Miss Sazabi pack? 2 EX skills, eh? No. Okay. So the only thing I'm going to give any points to the Miss Sazabi is for this move. And the only reason it gets any points for this, it's a cutscene, so you don't got to worry about the animation being wonky. But it's because the blades on the feet are really reminding me of the Aegis Gundam, and I really like the Aegis Gundam. So it gets points for that. That's pretty much it, though. Other than that, the first EX skill is complete wipe. Like, that's just, no thank you. We've seen that skill before, maybe in a different form, but it's not good. It may do the damage, but the animation and everything, miss me with that. The second one, it's your standard melee cutscene that you're going to have on that type of suit. Yeah, is what it is, pretty much. Anyways, yeah. Cool, so we got 3 alterations to look at today. Oh, it's not even a cutscene? It's got to be a pseudo cut. Oh, no, it's not bindable. You can just get interrupted out of it. Oh my god, why? Why would you make such a long EX skill that's not bindable? Oh my god, oh jeez. Wow, I don't even know what to say, man. What? That is... Jesus. Okay, well, whatever, man. It's what it is. Anyways, let's take a look at the Miss Sazabi first, get that out of the way. For anyone that hasn't watched me do alterations before, typically I just look at the trait/EX skill of a suit, because that's the only thing that really changes with an alteration. Typically, it's safe to assume the stats will always unilaterally increase. We have less than 5 examples in this game up until this point, between thousands of parts, where the stats drastically differ pre and post alter. So I do recommend that you always double check before you invest into altering your suit, to make sure the stats are what you want, because you can't roll it back. With that in mind, as this is a post 7-star apocalypse world, I am only going to be looking at the EX skill / trait and tags of 7-star suits, ignoring the stats. Frankly, reason being, they're just all good. They've completely outclassed everything else we have in the game at this point, and if you can alter a suit to 7-star, you might as well because of the stat boost alone. You can always backslot whatever else you need. And it is safe to assume that with each passing week, the suits are just going to get stronger and stronger, so there really isn't much of a point to looking at the stats for them. That's pretty much the grand scheme of things. If you can get a 7-star, get a 7-star. It's the best in the game. If you can't, wait until you get a 7-star. You got the best in the game. It's a pretty 1 + 1 = 2 scenario, unfortunately. Anyways, we'll start off with Miss Sazabi and go from there. Okay. Against enemy with advantageous attribute, EX skill power boost by 30%. Okay. I don't like the activation trait, or the trigger, but Sure, EX skill power boost is nice. Infighter job, melee power boost by 35%. All right, so with this, you get an EX skill power boost and a melee power boost. Good combo. Good combo. Okay, I can get behind that. Still don't like the first activation trigger, but is what it is. High mobility for computers. I still don't like the 4 line of tags. High mobility, nice. Cool beans. All right, torso. Yeah, Rushan, talk to you later, man. Okay, so torso. Job gauge increase down 10%. So your job gauge is going to increase 10% slower. To me, that's not a demerit at all. I still don't like the job gauge or what it does, so sure. With high mobility, or while high mobility, buff EX skill effect up 30%. Do keep in mind, GBM is a flat addition game with percentages. So if your EX skill says, aha, it'll boost your melee attack by 39%. No, now it's 69%, because that's the way the game works. Pretty good. So you'll get an EX skill cooldown reduction of 20% and an EX skill effect up for your buffs by 30%. This could be very, very powerful if used the right way, as it does allow you to quickly fire off an EX skill post in it very quickly, and all buff EX skills will get a 30% steroid to it. That is the highest multiplier I believe we have for buffs, increases specifically. So that's good stuff. Kind of sad that the second one isn't more of a offensive-oriented boost, but if you are using an EX skill that buffs you before doing damage, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. High mobility, close combat. All right, workable tertiary still. Arms. Arms. While close combat, enemy melee cut 40%. Wow. Are you telling me, as long as you have these arms and you're close combat, the enemy just loses 40% of their melee? What the fuck? Okay. Cut is just anti-reduction? What does that even mean? Oh, I get the wording. Oh, geez. Okay. Enemy melee cut minus 40%. So if the enemy has any traits that reduce your melee damage, they are cut by 40%. So if they have enemy melee power reduced by 30%, nope, goes to 0%. Bandai, please, for the love of God, please get people that are better at translating, or at least relaying the concept of this. This is so just... ugh. When melee defense is over 10,000, melee power boosted by 40%. Getting your melee defense over 10,000 is not terribly difficult after a certain point, and the 40% melee power boost is the highest multiplier we currently have available, so that's nice. It's quite interesting, actually. This part, as long as you have over 10,000 melee defense and are running close combat, both are relatively easy to do as a melee primary spec suit, not only does the enemy lose 40% of any potential reductions they have against your melee damage output, you also do 40% extra damage with your melee output. So that could be very interesting in terms of actual use, but I don't know if it's actual viability. It's just how many people run melee cuts. All right, high mobility, close combat yet again. Legs, sweet spin kick. Right, so Is that... Was this the other one we saw? Yeah, okay. So the legs are the ones that have the one that had with the Aegis-like blades out of the feet. As was mentioned in chat, non-bindable, meaning not a cutscene, meaning you can just be interrupted out of this one, at least based on the definition of it. You do get a melee attack boost. It does have a very healthy set of numbers there. A plus pierce, B plus power, low cooldown. It's a pocket rocket thing. As long as it's a pseudo cutscene, I don't see too much issue with using this as long as you're not against multiple enemies. If you're against a single foe, this will be really good for cleanup. You can just spam the shit out of it. But if you're against multiple enemies, this is a huge risk kind of thing, because it has a relatively long animation to get all of its damage out. And if you get interrupted during any of that, so you're not going to do damage. So, and that's only under the assumption it is a pseudo cutscene where when you make contact, the enemy can't respond. Because otherwise, they have ways to break out of it and punish you greatly. And I guess it's also assuming that there's no iframes to this skill, but I don't know. Anyways, word tag, high mobility for computers. Don't like for computers, high mobility is okay though. Alright, Beam Saber. While high mobility, melee power boosted by 40%. High mobility is a pretty decent tertiary, so not a huge ask to be running that. Shot attack down 20%, EX skill power boosted by 40%. This is a terrifying Beam Saber. So, as long as you're running high mobility and are willing to have your shot damage output reduced by 20%, you're looking at a 40% melee power boost and a 40% EX skill power boost. That's a pretty good trade. Yeah. High mobility, close combat tags, good stuff. Now, Sweet Sword. It's like someone took the energy sword from Halo and then just kind of added a stupid, like, hilt guard to it, you know? Some of these pseudo cutscenes can have either armor or iframes. We can't. Yeah, I really, really wish they would start publishing more of this data with the weapons, because it is kind of important, and locking that kind of information behind having to roll it in the first place is kind of annoying, because it can really make or break. Like, if during that entire cutscene where you're cutting them with your arms and legs, you have iframes during the entire thing, immediately makes it very viable, because now you have a pseudo cutscene that locks an enemy down and you're iframed for it. And as soon as it's done, you can spam it again, because the animation takes like 4.5, 5 seconds, while its base cooldown can be reduced quite hard due to its initial low general cooldown to begin with. Really, really powerful and abusable. But we won't know until we get it. And is it worth rolling a suit based on a maybe? No, it's not. Anyways, Sweet Sword. When attacking with beam, melee power boosted by 30%. Very easy to find beam everywhere. With Saber category equipped, squad job gauge rate plus 20%. This one actually makes sense instead of initial squad charge. So, squad job gauge rate plus 20%. I still don't like the job gauge, whether it's the squad or not. Does not matter. But the first trait, beam melee power boost. Okay. Yeah. Cool stuff. Do recall that attacking with beam does also encompass your your handheld weapons. So if you use a beam rifle, that's going to get the beam boost. If you're using a beam sword, that'll also get the boost. But if you're using a physical sword or a physical weapon, not so much. You know, they're not beam. You're not trying to slag them. All right. High mobility for computers. I've already talked about that combo of tags. And our shield. The Sweet Shield. Is that even a shield? Or is that like a rounding error from making another part and they said, screw it, and slapped it on the arm as a shield? Anyways. This one hosts the Twin Blade Slash. No, the cutscene is, or not even the cutscene, the animation is relatively long. You are very exposed, and it is very easy to whiff and then be at the mercy of everyone around you as you have become a dancing fish in a barrel. Slow fish in the barrel, mind you. It does boast A- power. I personally just don't think it's worth it. All right, as for the tags, I was about to go over stats, but I realized 7-star. Why do I care? High mobility for computers yet again. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of really interesting traits on the Miss Sazabi. Overall, it's okay. Nothing like amazing or anything. It's okay. All right, let's take a look at our alter attribute Zabanya. Zabanya. Such an interesting name. All right. Wow, Ace exclusive shooting power boosted by 40%. Yeah, man. Dig it. When shot defense is over 10k, EX skill power boost by 40%. Hey. Zabanya, you give good head. What can I say? Ace exclusive Gundam type tags, super powerful primary tag, and the Gundam type is a really good tertiary. Good stuff. Good stuff. Torso. I said torso. GN Missile. A Pierce, B plus power, pocket rocket cooldown. Cool stuff. We saw that. The animation was super quick. It's very much like the Dynamese leg GN missiles, where it's just a quick boom, you're done. I have no complaints. Good stuff. That's, yeah. Obviously not as good as a magazine skill, but for that quick, hey, I need to use an EX skill and do a ton of damage. Boop, this does the trick. All right, and Ace exclusive Gundam type tags again. I'll take it, shit. Arms. While long range, shooting power boosted by 30%. Long range is a workable tertiary for shot machines, so okay. Melee attack down 20%, shooting power boosted by 35%. So if you're willing to do 30 or 20% less melee damage, you're getting a fat shooting steroid. Together, if you're long range and willing to take a hit to your melee damage output, you get a 65% shooting power boost. That's worth it. Yep, Ace exclusive long range tags, good stuff. All right, legs. The GN Rifle Bit 2 Rapid Fire. Random fire. Rapid, random. Really, what's the difference at the end of the day? If you're on the receiving end. All right, so this is a bindable EX skill, meaning you're locked down as soon as you get hit. S power, D pierce, cutscene cooldown, melee attack boost 29%, shot attack boost 39%. This is post alteration. The shot attack is not the highest we've seen. We've seen this go up to 49%, and I believe 59% has been the highest for this. I know melee's pushed up that high. I can't remember if shot did or not. End of the day, this is not the highest mod we've seen, but as it also gives a healthy amount of melee attack at 29% for the entire squad, that's kind of where the trade-off sits. So, okay. All right. I'll take it. Ace exclusive long-range tags. All right. Backpack. There's our Trans Am. What are we packing? Speed, 20%. Shot attack, 39%. Beam resist, 49%. Not sure how to feel about the beam resist up, but the shot attack is healthy at 39%, as it does stack additively with the previous EX skills buff. So that's always good stuff. And the 20% speed boost, it's kind of token, really. Is that EX literally the exact same buff and all? Large chance. There's a very large chance it is. Ace exclusive long range, okay. And our GN Rifle Bit 2. With power attribute, EX skill cooldown reduced by 23%. Solid, pretty easy to get the power attribute. And if you are using a long shooter job license, initial EX skill charge boosted by 25%. Okay. So this gun is pretty much the one-size-fits-all cooldown reducer. If you are power attribute and your job license is long shooter, you're seeing the highest multiplier available for both EX skill cooldown reduction and initial EX skill. That's pretty solid. Yeah, good stuff. Real good stuff. All right. So the Zabanya is absolutely punishing if you are running a shot machine. Lots of really good traits. The numbers looked good from the brief glances I gave it. Good tags. All right. And our build project for the next month is the Cabacauli. If you remember, that was a welfare suit from days past. Very long time ago, actually. It's about a year ago. Year and change. It's been a minute. And now it's back as a build project. Now, the biggest issue that I have with build projects in the current meta is before, when we had like the Sokais and stuff, and then we had the build project suits, the stat boost was kind of worth it. But now with the stat inflation we've seen, sure, build projects are still better, but they're not that much better. And it's like a sliding scale, right? So we had our 4-star suits that were sitting at like capping out at 44, 4,500 of a primary stat, let's say, right? And then post Super Sokai, those 4-star suits kind of shifted up to about 5K, right? Sokai suits, they started at about 49, 51, then they shifted up to 56, 57, right? Build projects, they've always kind of sat a little bit above the Sokai thing, where they were kind of like, you know, 55, 56, and now they're, you know, a little over 6K post carryover and everything, right? So it's like before it made a much bigger deal because those extra 1,500 points or so made a difference. But when your suits all got shifted up the spectrum, you know, like 500, 600 to 1,000 points, that big difference kind of shrinks, you know? It's like, if you have $10 and you get $1,000, that's a pretty big deal. But if you had, you know, $800 and you got $1,000, still a big deal, but not nearly as big as of a deal as before. It's kind of where that's going, you know. Perspective, I guess. Anyways, let's take a look at the Cabacauli. While Commander shooting power boosts by 35%. Easy to get Commander. If you're running a shot machine, that's pretty much a requirement. And shooting power boost is nice. When armor is 50% or more, EX skill power boosted by 35%. All right, so if you're a Commander and you have more than half of your health, you're getting fat boosts. Good stuff. Hey, Alan, what's up? Commander, high firepower tags. Okay. Torso. Photon laser cannon. A+ pierce, B+ power, medium cooldown. Okay. Yikes. Anyways, as for the CX skill, frankly, it really comes down to the animation. Based purely on the text, sounds okay. But a lot like how the Kshatriya torso sounded really good on paper, in practice, leaves a little lacking, you know? Oh, haven't had 2 spammers in my chat before for a while. Bye. All right. Anyways, Commander high firepower tags again. On paper, looks solid. Really depends on the animation of that torso skill. But as it is shot... Arms. When melee attack is over 10,000, job gauge increase boosted by 20%. Already talked about the job gauge. Moving on. While high firepower, all power boosted by 35%. That's a very hefty boost for a very easy to activate kind of deal. Good stuff. Commander high firepower tags. Cool. Legs. Middle shooter job, shooting power boosted by 35%. We got a lot of good middle shooters. And when shot attack is over 10,000, EX skill power boosted by 35%. So if you're a middle shooter and have over 10k shot attack, both of those are pretty easy to do. These days, you know, pilot and head alone will do that most of the time. EX skill power boosted and shooting power boost. Solid. Damn. Backpack. Beam ring. Throw a disc formed from a beam saber. So it's a yeet. Pocket rocket cooldown. A+ pierce. B+ power. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. The beam ring. It's a whip. While high firepower, all power boosted by 35%. And with whip category... Wow. Get a fucking load of this. Unironically, this is really good. So if you're using this weapon and you have high firepower, you're getting a 70% all power boost. Damn. Okay. Okay. And the beam shotgun. A- power, D pierce 11 shots, fire scattering beam. So it's literally the American special. All right. On paper, really good. A- power magazine skill. Sure. Yeah, and that is the second ever A- mag. Good stuff. So, Cabacauli, as a build project, pretty much just stats. In terms of the couple of standouts, we have the shotgun, which is very powerful as a magazine skill, and the beam whip. If you are someone that is not terribly picky about your choice of weapon, potentially get that just for the traits, whether front slot or back slot, because 70% all power boost is fucking nasty. The shotgun. It's a shotgun. It has a shot magazine. It goes probably not burr, but more like burr, burr, burr. You get the point. Other than that, nothing really stood out for me. There's obviously some really good symbiotic traits in there, but in general, I don't know if the entire suit is worth a build project, but those two weapons, yeah. The worst one, same as the welfare. Yeah, but the thing is, A- magazine, like, yeah, it doesn't give you the range of the Strike Noir. It doesn't give you, you know, like rapid fire spray or AoE coverage potentially like the Sazabi stuff, or this was it the Sazabi shield? Anyways, end of the day, or maybe it was the Stein. End of the day, A- magazine power, it's pretty healthy. I would definitely, in this thing, prioritize the ring whip if I were to get any single part from the Cabacauli. I would then entertain the idea of the shotgun, depending. And it is really kind of a use case scenario. Do you not mind getting up close and personal to deliver quick, shoddy blasts? Or do you like just, you know, fight starts, just rain hell on them with magazine skills? Pick your poison, honestly. We have so much selection these days, it's not really a big deal. Yeah, the spread from the X and miss the broadside of a barn. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Is it's all kind of like risk and reward when it comes to anything that sprays and scatters. That's why there's some of like the Vulcan skills that are just not really worth it, is because their spray is so unbelievably atrocious. You're gonna whiff with 90% of it, right? So, anyways, so that's all the alterations. That's all the suits, all the new stuff. I don't believe I missed anything with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer over. Oh, hey gang, what's up? Yeah. It's, what time is it? Practically a midnight Macca's run. What can you do? So, anyways, with that in mind, I've gone over the primary content for the stream that I wanted to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on my new account here on the NA server and go from there. Now, yeah, pretty much long and short with this. I'm actually like really excited to see how far a new account can go within the short span of a month. But I feel it's a little tilted in my favor because if you guys didn't notice, we are starting a new campaign for GBM, the 6 million download campaign. So we're getting lots of free shit over the next while. I feel like that's going to help this new account a lot. Like, a lot. All right. So let's see how this new account handles it. Let's go. Oh, boy. Oh, not the button I wanted to click. Don't mind me. Muscle memory. Okay. So I'm getting a crap load of capital to start, a multi-roll, premium 10x capsules. Oh, this isn't even, this is, jeez. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do here, as soon as the banners load, see what we have available, because I can't remember if brand new players get access to special banners or not. New account campaigns have to be good for a reason for a running game. Yeah, it's just like typically when I start a brand new account for a game that's gone past like its 2nd anniversary. How to best explain it? So, for example, really good example actually, because I've talked about it on the stream before. Arknights. I picked it up because a couple of my friends play it, and as I've mentioned several times, I'm very much a social mobile game player. You know, I enjoy playing the mobile games, hang out with the buddies, and shoot the shit with them about it and stuff, right? But joining Arknights so late into its life cycle, because it was already past like its 2nd anniversary on the global server when I joined in, it felt like I would never catch up, and that I would always be really far behind. And so far, that's more or less been proven true. There's tons of operators that I don't have and don't have any access to. Won't know when I'll be able to get access to them again just because of how the game works with limited units. I'm so far behind on story content. Really high-end difficulty stuff's being released that I have no way of participating in properly because I just don't have my units built up or anything, and it feels like I'm always behind the curve. Same goes with Fate Grand Order. Yes, we have the anniversary coming up soon, and they will absolutely have a top-tier new player dash campaign, where brand new players will get tons of rolls, they'll get tons of resources and items, and generally get a very good start. But GBM is one of those very unique cases where right now, if I took the entire welfare out of the shop, built it up, got it to level 90 across the board, that theoretically should be able to carry me through all of the story content that is currently available in the game, and through the overwhelming majority of the free mission content in the game. Now, whether or not I can tackle the high-end content is up in the air, but that's kind of what this experiment is for, because I know that I just AFK most of the story mode with my suits. How far can a new player get? That's kind of the whole idea behind this, is how far can an actual new player take this, and how comfortable is it catching up to the big boys, so to speak. It's kind of the deal, right? Because that's always to me anyways, that's always the biggest hurdle to starting a new mobile game or picking one up, is I'm so far behind, how do I catch up? So that can be pretty daunting. And it does really depend on the game. There are some where it matters a lot. For example, if you picked up Honkai Impact 3rd right now, you would never catch up. That's effectively it, with a period at the end. You would have to open that wallet and wail a lot in order to catch up, because that's just how the game works. You would have to constantly participate in the PvP to catch up, but people already have their meta builds with the best weapons and stigmatas on their characters, fully maxed out, everything. You're never going to catch up to them, at least not without wailing an insane and unreasonable amount. GBM is a very unique game in that aspect, where you don't require a ton of things to actually catch up to players, and I respect that. So I'm looking forward to seeing kind of where this goes. Now, where were we? We were taking a look, yes. So, what do we have here with the exclusive PU parts banner? Yes. Oh boy. Got lots of options, that's for sure. All right, so first of all, let's roll my freemium my freebie premium capsule X10 that came in the gift box as part of the 6 million campaign and see what happens. All right, gold weapon to start. And the game just throws one of the best fucking melee weapons in the game at me. Okay. Oh, that's a spicy tamale if I've ever seen one. Oh, 2 gold hearts, huh? Not bad. Ooh. I'm not gonna rate the app just yet. Wow. Jesus. Yeah, and I'm definitely rolling the PU bab thing. Let's go. Damn, man. Freebie. So I need to do 3 multis on this thing to take advantage of the thing. But that's okay, because I definitely do plan on rolling a lot on this banner with this new account. Let's see what happens. That's a good sign. I can't remember if it was guaranteed or not on the first roll, but here we are. I can't remember this one. Ah! Second B. Okay, that's why. Knight, it's like your first time watching me roll Gacha or something. Come on. Okay. Ah, I can do a second roll too. Nice. It's all it's discounts all the way up. Or down. Ah, just purple. Big sad. A big heartbreak. Clips in the ticket, zero powers, roll for it. That'd be nice, Alpha. There's a lot of stuff I really want to get in this game, but it's not so much like a I need it kind of want. You know, it's just like a, if I get it, I get it. Be kind of neat. Because yeah, especially after rolling for the different attribute Kshatriya, I really need to save up. Because when the Amaterasu drops, I need that entire suit. And yeah, that's going to be suffering. Ah, there's my purple part, a backpack. Okay, so I'm all out of Haro now. Do I have any tickets I can use? Currently, no. But I do have a couple of freebies. We're gonna do it. Alright, so pretty much all I'm lacking now is like a good pilot. All right, come on. Give me a purple pilot. Really just rub it in. Let's go. Nope, green. Okay, I'll suffer. That's a Londa as well. Yikes. Okay, do my 1x free capsule. Blue. Okay. So, with that in mind, that is effectively all of my freebies burned out for the account here. Oh, minus the beginner capsule, but I'll sit on that because I don't really need to roll that right now. Okay, let's build a suit real quick here. God, this is going to be brutal. Especially, yeah, these parts are coming in at... Oof. Okay, so I'm going to run this just for the stats right now, even though it's not necessary. Actually, I don't have many pilot selection here. Do I have an infighter? No, so I have a long shooter and an outfighter. A long shooter and an outfighter. Okay, so I'll just rock this for now. Guess it doesn't really matter on this front. All of these are relatively poor. Swap all-rounder. Oh, right. We don't get access to change our job licenses just yet, do we? Alright, well, I guess I'll just pack this. It's the highest rarity I got. Torso. Yeah, we got a pack Reborn. It's kind of the highest stat. Just got it. The suit's gonna look ridiculous. I love it. Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's not worry so much with the traits, actually. Let's look at the actual parts. Let's go with the dual Gundam. Legs. I'll go with the Rose. Even though I don't like the EX skill very much. Yeah, okay. And the gun. Anything here give token melee? No, apparently not. We'll just pack this, sure. Okay. This should be fine for a literal brand new build. Time to see what the game wants me to do. I'm not going to do a terribly long amount of this new account right now. I do plan on playing it majorly off camera just to progress and see how far I can go with it. But I am probably going to put in until, I don't know, let's see, it's 11:30, probably another 15-20 minutes or so, maybe a little less. I'm not 100% sure personally. Yeah, it's just a win. With 4,000 primary offensive stat, should be pretty easy to do. I'm really excited to see how far this account ends up going, too. Because, what, it's like every other day I get a premium 10 capsule with 7-star parts in it. Or 7-star capable parts, I should say. That's crazy. Alright. I could probably shot them all. Almost leveled up again. Actually, that's a good idea. I'll play until I stop getting insane level ups. Pretty much run out of AP. Now, as I've already experienced the story, I am going to be skipping it. Plus, you know, I don't want to spoil the story for anyone new. Gotta love the kit bash on suits you can't skin, eh? Oh, boy. Alright, what are we up against? Actually, I'm curious. That's what I thought. I don't even need to use this ridiculously powerful beam saber because they just don't have any friggin' HP. I wonder how far the 6 million campaign is going to carry this account. Yeah, if you had anyone that's like on the fence about starting because they're afraid of waiting, you know, being late 2 years to the game, yeah, I don't think this is one of those games people have to worry about that in. It's pretty fucking mellow, let's be real. What is my purpose? Your purpose is to... I don't actually know. I think it's to exist until I can swap out more parts. That's pretty much it. All right, give me my supply stash. Let's go. What do I get? Hey, standard capsules. Lamau. All right.
Oh no, unmute. Unmute. Yeah,
I had muted the mic, and then he tells me to unmute them, or to, So I muted the mic, stuff came in, and then I unmuted, and then my brother came out to say something, he told me to unmute, so I muted, because I was currently unmuted. And then he started saying stuff. I had to inform him the mic was currently muted as per his demand. He's a character. All right. Now, I find interesting is there was actually a button when I created this account that was, do you want to, what was the exact verbiage? Do you want to skip the tutorial? Clearly, I have not skipped the tutorial. Oh. Yeah, but I mean, when someone you want to skip the tutorial, and I go, yeah, I'd love to skip the tutorial. You should just skip all the tutorial stuff. Like, if I tell you I don't want any tutorial, there should not be any tutorial. That's pretty much the simplicity of it, right? Oh, this is like post-tutorial tutorials. It's a tutorial. Ugh. I forgot how easy it is to get Haro as a brand new player. There's so much in just the story alone. These isn't a 45-minute tutorials. Man, so that gets me so mad when there's a mobile game and they're like, hey, here's your tutorials. All right, sure. Sounds good to me. Learn how to play. That's all right. You're done the tutorial, and now we'll do your first multi-roll. All right, cool. All right, now you can play the game. You collect everything from your box. You do baby's first multi-roll. Good stuff. All right, now I want to reset my my rolls here because I didn't like what I got. Oh yeah, you got to clear your cache, pretty much start from 0 and go through the tutorial again. And I've always been really confused by this. By this point, developers have to know we reroll. They have to know that when a new game comes out, we're going to reroll the ever-living shit out of it to get the perfect start that we want. So why is it that they keep making us redo the tutorials, make rerolling one of the biggest pains in the ass that there can be? Like, it's so rare to find an exception to this. Or even like, you know, Crestoria, right? Pain in the ass to make a new account, but they give you a pick ticket when you start. You know, pick your favorite, highest rarity character, play with them. You don't have to reroll because you just pick who you want. I love that. You know, Heavens Burns Red. Oh yeah, you can just skip the tutorial if you've played through it once before. That's fucking amazing. Cool stuff, right? I hate it when they just like force you to keep going through this to make it really, really annoying for no fucking reason at all. Yeah, and that, like, it's starting to become more popular, and that's great. I'm happy about that. But it is still a very low adoption rate in terms of all the mobile games that come out in a year versus how many games actually do this. And that's kind of what I mean. It's just like, why? Why is this so difficult? Like, here's the thing, right? If I'm a game developer and I'm creating a game and on launch, I know people are going to re-roll the shit out of it. Do I want to tax all the system, the database, the game, everything, with new accounts being created en masse by people re-rolling? Like, think about that, right? If I wanted to start a new account for a game and I wanted to re-roll, I would probably, I'm not saying I do this, but I would probably have 9 to 10 emulator instances open, sync them all together, and re-roll on all of them at the same time. That way, one of them is bound to, within a relatively short amount of time, get a good starting roll that I am happy with, right? From a game developer point of view, that is 10 accounts that are being created, rolled on, and having to be processed by the server, and then they're all deleted, and then brand new ones are made and rinse repeat. Or would I like to take a little bit extra dev time, create a built-in reroll system, and then that player now just has one account they can just sit there and keep mashing reroll on? Sure, you may still get the wise asses that go, hey, you know what? I'm going to multi-account this, right? And they have like 5-6 windows open, but they'll be done so much faster, right? The Sinoalis lets you do that, where they just had the infinite reroll button at the beginning. You downloaded a minimal amount of data, you got to do your beginning rolls, and when you were happy, said, cool, are you sure? Yep, all right, now we're gonna download the rest of the game for you. So even if in some crazy ass scenario you decided you needed to reinstall the game, you had a minimal impact on the server assets to go through all of this. I just don't understand why developers are so absolutely adamant on making it a pain in the ass when all it's doing is hurting them in the long run. Yeah, and Knight, that's like, I find the games that force a certain role, like Revived Witch, where you were guaranteed your role would consist of 1 ultra rare unit, 2 SR tier units, and then the rest were normal rarity units, right? Sure, I get that. You don't want to have players keep re-rolling until they get, 10 URs, but make it possible. Set a minimum. They have to get 1 UR character no matter what. And the rest, purely RNG. That way, it's kind of the player's problem at that point. They want to sit there and keep mashing the reroll button forever. Why not let them? It's their choice. But at least the option is there on, like forcing them into playing the game. I don't know, it's just most of the units that you get at launch are power creeped anyways. I know of maybe 2 mobile games I've ever played where launch characters were still viable a year down the line. Why do you care so much if a player gets a really, really good start? They're going to be forced to roll your gacha anyways down the line. There is no two ways about it. So trying to artificially lock them down, I think, is just ridiculous. But what do I know? Anyways, time to enjoy my burger while watching Auto actually be useful, because it doesn't have to worry about EX skills. Auto in this game works really well. As long as you're not relying on it to pop EX skills and stuff on time, it's really, really good. I actually use Auto quite a bit for pretty much any content that doesn't have very strict requirements to it, right? Like, if I'm doing a mission for an event, right, like when I do my first clear for all the event missions where it's like, oh yeah, use an EX skill. I'll set my suit to auto. Fight starts, hit the magazine skill button, and just let the game play itself after that. It works great. But you can't really use it in things like Arena or Battle Circuit due to the type of content. But it's not bad. The AI is such a derp. I love it. I have so many completed achievements. Holy crap. When I finish chapter 1, I'm going to go claim them and see exactly what fortunes I have fallen into. There's what? I think 12 parts to the first chapter. 12 or 13. Oh no, that's it. Just the 10. Yeah, I did explicitly say I don't need... Oh, hey, alterations are unlocked. I specifically didn't need a tutorial for this. I know how all this stuff works. Do not cite the deep magic to me, witch. Alright. Take a look at what achievements I got. That is going to be a lot of Haro. Alright, not as much as I thought, but still a healthy amount of Haro. Alright. Lots of easy ways to get Haro, too. Now, I'm curious. So I do need the full 1,500 for that. Okay. All right. I still have AP, so let's keep going. What is the download size for the event anyways? I didn't even parse it. It was like a gig or something? Okay, no. I'll wait. I'll do story missions for now. And then once I hit my AP limit and I finish the stream, I'll download all of the event data and start grinding that out. Yeah. $3 gigs, really? Okay. That's not that bad, honestly. There's nothing quite like a midnight Macca's run. Oh, really? If the game crashes mid-download? Oh, it's a good idea then that I get my bind code before I download the data. I've had this account for less than an hour, but if anything happens to it, I'll kill everyone in this room and then myself. Man, the hard trip grind just ain't gonna end. I'll probably end up finishing chapter 2 before my AP runs dry. Now, what are my goals, I guess, for this account? I think I want this account by the end of the month to be able to beat all of the, like, I don't want to say all of the challenges, but at least some of them. I don't really care how well this account does on, like, the hardest, like, multi-missions or arena rankings or anything, but all of the non-multi-mission PvE content, I think I want... Oh, you know what? Maybe I could get it really far in Battle Circuit. That'd be neat. I think I'll aim, yeah, for Battle Circuit, story and free mission completion, yeah, and the challenge stuff. I think that'll be a good goal. Okay. There. Yeah. Now I'm done my refreshments. Let's actually play the game again. Fencing with a beam fan. Okay. It's too bad the battle log welfares are running. That would set your life in the account. Yeah. You're not wrong there. But is what it is. Start an account late. You just have to wait for reruns. I think that's the only issue I can see with a new player joining, is if one of the suits that they really liked was a welfare. You're never gonna see it again. Honestly, I still think they should add like a exchange shop specifically for old welfares, and every event when you there's like just an exchange option in there where you could trade your x amount of current event currencies to get a welfare coin where you could trade in for old parts. That way it lets people just get old welfare suits and parts and max them out. Honestly, I think that's the best way to approach it. Have you seen an anime called Dot Hack? I've talked about Dog Hat before several times on here. Yes, I have watched the entirety of it at least a couple of times. I was gonna say at least once, but I was like, that doesn't sound like I watch it very much. I've watched it. Don't worry. I even have the trilogy game on Steam. Well, trilogy plus one, I should say. Man, my mic is really good at picking up audio from the next room. Jeez. I can... It's ridiculous, actually. Ugh. I actually wonder how far I'll be able to get in the story mode, because I'm getting so much XP. I think I'm at like double my cap right now. And soon I'll probably be at triple if I'm leveling up at this pace. 69 energy. Sorry, someone just kept me in the loop about a content creator that's charging people for stolen content. This guy, he is currently in the process of taking the images from my Discord bot, Fiora, and from the Dengeki Wiki, and just cropping out credits and stuff and charging people for it through his YouTube. I'm not gonna name names because I don't want to give him any spotlight for his really shitty behavior. But I have a feeling some of you probably already know who it is. Yeah, don't be like that. Don't go and steal other people's work and then monetize it. That is just disgusting. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if he starts facing like legal issues for that, because not only is he stealing other people's work and profiting off of it, but he is doing it knowingly, willingly, and after being told several times, hey, could you fucking stop? Yeah, he's a piece of work. So much energy. We double pull the venture as part of a pool that drops parts. No, I still feel like they should just add a new currency and a new exchange shop for old welfare stuff, frankly. And whenever an event ends, it just gets added into this pool Because honestly, at the end of the day, like, if there's a suit you really like in the welfare pool, your only option right now is to sit on your thumbs and wait for a rerun. And if the suit has had its rerun time already, who knows, right? And I understand that a lot of the time, you know, event stuff should be limited to the event, and that makes sense for most mobile games. However, with this game, with the way that its event suits work, it's a little different. They're more or less constantly power crept. There's only a few parts that have been released over the last couple of years that are actually really good and used, right? Like the Strike Noir backpack comes to mind. Its EX skills effectively it's just really fucking good. Same with the Crossbone torso, right? The X1 torso. What it comes down to is it's not even like they're monetizing old welfares either. They just add them in every now and again with new welfare stuff. And you can just farm it during that small time period. And if you miss it, you can't buy it. You can't gacha it. So I just don't understand why they're locking it behind this completely arbitrary time gate. It just seems weird to me. Yeah, they still have a reprint. Like, I don't know why they reprinted the Noir backpack, but not the X1 torso. Like, what the fuck is with that? Like, yeah, the X1 torso is really, really good, but it's not that fucking good. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, yeah, they really want to incentivize you playing during the welfares period and getting it. But for players that are just starting, you know, new players and stuff, there's just no fucking way. Like, if a player joins tomorrow and goes, oh, Strike Noir is my favorite suit, I really want it. I got bad news. Not only did you miss his event, but you missed the reprint. We have yet to see a second batch of reprints for anything. You may never see it again. We don't know. This game gets 3 welfare reprints every couple of weeks. And that is barely enough to keep up because we get a new event every week. So we're pretty much at a +1 gain per week. This game ran for over 100 weeks before we saw that. So it's going to be a long time, motherfucker. It's going to be a long time. Should Dot Hat Sign make a comeback in an anime sequel? There's some series, I think, that should stay finished. Like, for example, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That was an amazing story from beginning to end. And as much as I would love to see the post-series where we get to see more of these characters living their life after the events of Full Metal Alchemist, I can't see a way of them making a good story for it. Well, finally getting your laundry?
I don't know, is it dry?
I would hope so. The dryer says it's dry. This isn't your old place where you have to dry like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, damn.
Well, throw it back again. Yeah, you're right. I would hope. I would hope I'm not your dad at all. You didn't close the door. You
Closed it with so much gusto it unclosed itself. Also known as open.
the fuck out. Anyways, as I was saying, as much as I would love to see these characters living their life past the end of Brotherhood, I know that there's no way to make a compelling story without retconning or making it completely obtuse. And, you know, like, I would love to see the adventures of Al and the gang when they go to, I can't remember the name of the other country, but when they go and travel, you know, to get their original bodies back, or see the life of Edward and, you know, Winry. I would love to see that, but I know that there's really no good way to approach doing this. And the only way they could really do it is to make it kind of like a comedy spin-off, slice of life, where instead of it being a typical shonen story, right, they make it something a little more lighthearted, which doesn't really fit the theme of FMA, in my opinion. Same with .hack. I think it ended at a very good point, and I don't think continuing it past that point will do any good for it. I do have a relatively controversial, I guess, opinion with a very popular series, Sword Art Online. As many issues as the first season had, I think that at the end of season 1, where we see Kirito walking down the hallway with his little the medical stand, and he's limping down trying to find his girlfriend in the hospital, I think that was a great place to end the series. Sure, it didn't tell the whole story. Sure, it told a very gimped version of the story. But I feel like there was enough ups and downs through it that that ending would have been impactful enough. The main character has reached his resolution. It's a implied happy ending where the main character has saved everyone and his girl, and they're going to find each other in the hospital and have a happy reunion, and life goes on. I think would have been a very nice ending. But instead, they spawned the rest of that shit fest. Anyways, there are some times where, as much as you want to see the IP continue onwards and you want to enjoy more of it, it's time to stop. To put it nicely. Naruto's a great example. They finished Naruto, everyone was happy, then they're like, alright, we gotta keep milking this cash cow? Boruto. No. Not like this. Not like this, man. So, as much as I would like to see more Dot Hack, a sequel, something more modern, it ended at a good spot. Let's leave it there. I don't want to see someone pick it up and ruin it. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. There's some welfares with 3 reprints from just before welfare alters. Yeah, but that's like super rare, and I don't know why they decided to reprint specific suits multiple times and not reprint a bunch of other ones at all, ever. So it's so selective that trying to, oh, I want this very specific welfare suit, there's just no point, because it may never come out. It's just the way it is. So far, the only skipped are X1 and Chaos. Maybe they just, like, legitimately forgot about the X1 and the Chaos. I don't fucking know, man. It's just so weird to me. It's just so weird. Like, it's an interesting system they currently have to farm old welfares, but, like, it's so convoluted for no reason at all. Honestly. X1 is still labeled as a standard. That might be why it got skipped over then, is they may just have an automated system that randomly picks a few welfares each couple of weeks and throws those into the pool. And because the X1 is marked as a welfare, their system doesn't pick it up. I don't fucking know. Big memes? Yeah, but the thing is, with the way that they kind of handle a lot of stuff in this game, I wouldn't be shocked. Where's the end of Chapter 3? What am I even on? I've lost track with all the talking. How deep am I in this chapter? 3-3, alright, I'm nowhere. Good. I definitely have enough for another multi-roll, though, once I go back to collect. I actually, like, how far am I going to get before I run out of energy? Like, it's actually crazy how far I've already gotten in this story. Like, I'm almost a quarter of the way. Like, when I finish Chapter 3, I'm like, what, a 1/7 of the way through all of the release story content within the first couple of hours of making a new account of, like, a 2-year-old game. That's crazy pace. Be funnier if it was a Fate Grand Order. Get to Lost Belt within their first, like, couple of weeks. I like how this suit is kitted out for melee. Like a way more melee than shot, but it still prefers to use a beam rifle. So clearly shot is superior. Just keep leveling. Just keep leveling. Alright, I'm actually going to go collect my Haro and roll. Wow, that was a lot of Haro that time. Okay. I shot up like 1,400 Haro. It's crazy. Alright, PU parts. May as well just keep going through this loop. Nice. Alright, what do we got? Greens. Where's my gold? Oh, it's another weapon type. What'd I get? A shield. Wow, look at... I got gold everything. Nice. Actually, I think I still need a gold rifle. I think that's the only gold weapon I don't have. Is I have 2 swords and a shield now. Gonna pull the old Master Chief. I need a weapon. Oh, frame part. What'd I get? Ah, gold head. The crossbone Gundam Mao. Alright. Sure as shit that's going on. Free level 80 part. Ja-ba-bing. And slap on my shield. Yeah, doggy. Man, look at these numbers. It's fucking great. Still can't change my job license. 21 more achievements. Oh my lord. All right, bingo. It's the bingo board. So where are all these achievements at? Wow. End of chapter 3 for job licenses. All right. Oh, yes. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Permanent. Alright, so definitely do need to draw on the beginner bingo. Gift box, let's see what I get. It should be enough for another multi, actually. Because all of my previous Haro just came purely from my achievements. Yep. It's enough for another multi. And this one should actually give me the pick ticket as well for an exclusive part of my choice. And I'm not sure which I want to go for. Got any recommendations for exclusive parts I could grab? Because there's just too many of them. Oh. Huh. That's a lot of torso. I wish it was different parts though, so I could actually kit out my entire suit. What are your traits looking like? Okay. I'd say any of the 7-star 1/100 parts. I can't remember what any of those are to save my life, quite literally. But let's go take a look. I'll probably go for a pair of arms, because I need a good pair of gold arms. Exchange should be under special. No, is I guess event then. Here it is. Okay, so there's that, and my exclude. There we go. So much power. Okay. I actually don't know what the best would be for a melee machine. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Kind of weird that none of those things in here looked like no 1/100 exchanges available with this ticket. So, with that in mind then, fat melee boost, 7-star capable. After Alta to get to 1/100. Well, that's not very helpful to me with this list, because there's so many parts I go through, I can't remember what are 1/100. Let's just hit up alteration real quick here. Actually, I think the parts list would be really good here for this. Not that I want to min-max, but... Oh. Is this? This doesn't even have a sorter for large. Oh, I should actually just check their official build thing. Because I know they have their official calculator somewhere. For the life of me, I can't remember where it is. There it is, the Gunpla build simulator. This should do what I need. Arms, 1/100. Perfect. Yeah, Zeta, Unicorn. The big Freedom is... Ooh, Freedom would be nice. Just because I like the Freedom. But I guess it's more of a shot-oriented than anything. Zeta should have good... Oh no, those are shot arms, aren't they? Column A, column B. I don't want column A, column B. I want just the big one. Oh, is this the Beam Tonfas? Or is that the backpack? Ooh, I'll probably go with these then. The 1/100 Unicorn Arms. Beam Tonfa's really nice. I'll go with that. And it should be it. Technique, Beam Tonfa. Yeah. Looks like the ticket. But I'm Tis. We'll swap those around because I'd rather Kelvich on this one. I still need a good pilot. Shame. So no good backpack. Nope. Okay, that's a lot of gold though. That's a lot of friggin' gold. Yeah. I don't care too much about 7-star capable 1/100. The thing is, right, is in between now and the end of this campaign, I'm going to have a lot of horror on this account. So I'm not terribly concerned about min-maxing on this, because I don't plan on continuing playing this account after this whole, like, little event thing is kind of ending a month from now. So it's more of a, let's see how well I can do on a brand new account with putting a little bit of effort in with thinking. But outside of that, like, it's going to be pretty casual. So if I cared about a lot about longevity, then I would be re-rolling to try to make sure that my first batch of rolls gave me unique parts or things that really worked well together. It's more of a make the best of what you got, which is kind of the essence of this game in the first place. So I'm not terribly worried. Yeah, like, just go take a look at what this 6 million campaign is giving us. I'm not too concerned about having a lot of stuff. Yeah, getting a good pilot's a pain in the arse in comparison to everything else, but that's just how it goes. Getting a full 7-star suit with max marks and altered, not a problem. A good 6-star pilot? I don't have much hope on that one. My only hope is that a powerful build project pilot comes out by the end of the month, and that they're suited for the build that I inevitably get from all of my parts. Another level up. It never ends. I want this to end so I can go to sleep. But I know it will not. I'm almost concerned as to how long I'll be on this, because I keep leveling. At first, I was thinking, what, like level 10 or something, it would kind of dull out? But at this rate, like, I could probably get to level 20 before it even gets anywhere near stopping. My phone battery. Oh my Jesus. I've lost 70% of my battery doing this stream for 2.5 hours. The power of a power cable. Well, hopefully my phone doesn't catch fire. That'd be awkward. So below 19, start missions outpacing energy gain from levels for level up. Well, that's if there's no current events in place to give me, or to give new players, I should say, better AP usage on story missions to promote clearing it. Because that'd be brutal. I know that when I get to the last chapter, that's going to be suffering. It will eventually end, because although my suit is very easily clearing out this content, you do need a decent amount of offensive values once you get up to, I think it's about chapter 10 or something. Around there, you do kind of need to have like a 15, 16k suit. But that's where I would hop into events or free missions or something and grind up there. Potentially, you know, actually uncap my suit, whatever, what have you. God, I'm glad we don't have that. I actually just remember now when COVID started and they just gave us so much energy refills, but we didn't have the skip ticket system yet. So we had to manually grind out these maps over and over and over and over again to use our energy effectively. God, that was suffering. Yeah. See, I guess I was partially lucky during that time period because I was in the middle of doing some very tedious and repetitive outdoor work. So it was mostly just set the phone to, you know, play it on auto, went out, did some stuff, came back and just, you know, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again as I was doing this work. It was brain numbing. I wish I could have had it running while I was asleep. But yeah, it was stupid. Am I being silly for remembering there being skip tickets? For that period of time, we did not have skip tickets. We didn't get skip tickets until quite a few months after that ended, and then they implemented their skip ticket system. But during that original period when COVID lockdown kicked in, they just gave us a shitload of energy, no skip tickets, and said, "Do with it what you will." That's I think a lot of people farmed up their code fi, whatever during that time, because there was nothing else to do. Ah, yes, job license is unlocked. Beautiful. You know, I already said I don't want a tutorial. Oh yeah, look at that, 10k power, and I'm day 1. Let's go. All right, let's clear chapter 4. You doggy. Yeah, I remember when this game launched, 10k was a big fucking deal. That was like the first big cutoff, and then I believe it was 16k, and then after we had our first big power creep after that, it was like 20k, and then we unlocked the 6-star alterations, and suddenly the cap pushed up to like 45, 60k around there. I think that's pretty much the number caps we were looking at. And then they added in the sub-slotting, they added in the alterations, they added in all this other shit. And then our numbers just started going fucking burr. No, so we didn't have skip tickets in the current form we have them, where, you know, I clear a mission and I just go click, click, you know, skip 100 times and go. You had to manually run the missions X amount of times, or you had to manually run the missions. Or perhaps you are right, perhaps there were skip tickets, but you can only use a certain amount of them at a time because of the energy cap restrictions. Honestly, it was so long ago at this point, like, I can barely remember anything. All I remember is it was tedious, it was slow, it was boring, and then they made it good after the fact. I'm really glad I got the Ale Strike backpack. It's actually one of my favorite aesthetic looking backpacks. Just keep going. There's gonna be like another 3-hour stream because stamina won't empty. I will say, from a new player perspective, being able to play this much of the story and get all of this Haro for free, it's pretty fucking good. Your laundry beat, by the way. I'm surprised you didn't notice that as soon as you walked in.
No.
Did you forget it was in there?
It blends into the background.
The sound of silence blends into the background? Never.
Still wet, son of a bitch.
Back in it goes. Make sure you put the wet part near the outside this time so the sensor detects it.
Yeah, so it's right up to the wall.
Round 3. Your betting's a bitch, Boogaloo. I think after my next level up, I'm going to actually bottom out on energy. Because I'm almost in the net negative now. I'm actually below my my stamina threshold for once. Blast, the end is in sight. We're almost there. If you had to sell Gundam to someone that never got into Gundam, what would you say? It really depends on what kind of Gundam I'm selling them into. Like, if I'm selling them into Gundam Battle Operations 2, I would, for one, try to figure out what that person's interests are in a game. Are they into more tactical games? Are they into more arcadey games? Right? Like, it all depends on like the person you're talking to. What kind of stories are they into? If you want to get them into one of the anime series, are they into something dark, brooding, and serious? Are they into something more lighthearted? Are they into more political intrigue? Do they prefer the concept of it taking something taking place in space, or something more planet side, or column A, column B, something more modern related, or relatable, I should say, something way more futuristic, right? There's a lot of different avenues, I guess, to tackle when it comes to trying to get someone into Gundam. But the biggest one is typically, do you like giant robots exploding? Because that's kind of the cutoff, I think, to kind of get someone into Gundam. Is if they don't like watching giant robots fight and potentially explode, they may not enjoy a lot of Gundam, because that's kind of a shtick. Because if you water down Gundam to like the most bare bones, it's a space soap opera with exploding machines. That sums up almost all of Gundam. I say almost because there's a few series where that doesn't quite apply, but in general, that's the case. Dark and political intrigue, something to watch? Oh, if you're into like a more dark story, there's a few good ones. But most of the political intrigue series would be more, I think, from the UC era than anything. Yeah, definitely more UC era. More gritty would be from whatever timeline IBO is in, because that's like a post-apocalyptic thing, so it's all much more run down in general, at least for the main character side of things, so it's a lot more gritty. But yeah, like if you're just trying to get like a friend into Gundam, like, and they've never really watched Gundam or any kind of mech stuff before, I typically say the safest bet is 00 personally, just because I feel like it hits a lot of really strong narrative points, and it does kind of have its splits between a lot of different subgenres people would enjoy. It's got a healthy balance of people fighting people, you have mechs fighting mechs, you have your political intrigue, you have your space opera moments, lots of character building. It's not afraid to kill off major characters, so it's like, sure, they're dead now. And I feel like that was a very strong point of it, but it's obviously not for everyone. It's very much a general catch-all umbrella. Like, they'll probably enjoy this, but you're much better off figuring out what the person's actual interests are and finding a Gundam series that closest matches that. Because honestly, the franchise has been running for so many years now that there is 100% a Gundam faucet that will appeal to them. If they're into the really more light-hearted, no real stakes Gundam, you're probably going to want to watch one of the Build Fighters things. Sure, if they can be serious, they can be, kind of, heavy, but it's still kids with Gunpla fighting each other, right? There's no real world-ending stakes, no fucking Operation British colony drops going on or anything where they exterminate 9/10 of the planet, right? It's all tame in that sense. So there's a little bit of something for everyone with Gundam. It's just you got to figure out what they would be into watching. So I think that's kind of the first thing that you should kind of narrow down with them. But if they're into dark political intrigue, as was mentioned by Knight, you'd probably want Victory. Mobile Suit Gundam 00. Yeah, and again, the only reason I suggest that is it's a very generic catch-all Gundam. It doesn't lean terribly hard into many of the Gundam tropes, but it stays close enough to it that if they watch 00 and they enjoy it, chances are they'll probably enjoy the rest of Gundam. It has relatively modern animation style to it. It follows the more modern trend of like your shonen kind of stories. So it's much more relatable to people that watch anime and read manga, but they may not be too into Gundam or mecha, right? But everyone's different. Right, like I know some people that loved Iron-Blooded Orphans, right? And that series was Gundam, but it was also really not Gundam at the same time. It had Gundams in it, but it didn't follow the same notes as other Gundam series did, right? But it was good, and some people really liked IBO. So you'll never know. If it comes to the games, there's types of games for it. They have their RTSs, they have their arena fighters, they have their arcade fighters, they have their more casual mobile experiences as well. They got all sorts of things in their repertoire. So yeah, Gundam has been around so long that there is something for everyone. It's just finding it. I'll never get used to your attitude outside Discord degeneracy. Square up, Austin. I'll fight you. You've known me for years, man. You know I can be serious sometimes. Sometimes. Still hoping for a Calamity War spinoff. There's a lot of stuff I'd really like to see though. Like there is so much with Gundam I would love to see properly like fleshed out and explored and like built on. Like I know, for example, I would Seed favoritism coming in. I would really like to see the Seed universe kind of expanded on more, because in terms of animation, we had Gundam Seed, we had Gundam Seed Destiny, We had the OVAs for them, which is cool. And then we had like that OVA for Astray, like the 30 minutes total for the 2 series, which were honestly really, really good as stories. The anime was okay, but it didn't really do any of the characters as much justice as they should have. I would love to see that explored more. I would love to see all of the... Because Seed has so much lore that was never properly like fleshed out or built on. I feel like there's a lot missing in there. But, you know, there's definitely some Seed bias in there. Oh, he'll be in Ontario in 3 years? Man, that's forever. What's taking you 3 years to move out here, eh, bud? Don't forget to bring Matt. God, can I run out of energy already? Oh my god. Oh, you're going to Waterloo too? Dude, you're going to be right around the corner from me. Damn. From Waterloo? Spitting distance. Let me double check the exact distance from like Waterloo downtown. Yeah, like half hour or less away from downtown core Waterloo. So we'll very easily be able to hang out for drinks and games every day of the week. Can this leveling spree stop? Please. I should actually be done this chapter relatively soon. Yeah, 4-6, I'm already over halfway through the chapter. Man, effectively 4 whole chapters off of Freshie. That's nuts. That's a 5th of the story content cleared day 1. The account is less than 3 hours old. Actually, yeah, it's like, what, 2 hours and 20 minutes old or something? And we're almost a 5th of the way done the core story for the game. It's pretty good. Yeah, legitimately, the hardest part, I think, of this account is going to be getting a good pilot. The parts will come like nobody's business, but the pilot's going to be a big issue. Oh, wow, we finally get to see Beam Tonfa. Nice. Chapter 4-7. Oh, I'm free. I'm free, finally. Alright, let's go claim all of my achievement stuff and see where we stand. 46 achievements, oh my god. Alright, give me the money. Where are we at? Wow. Okay. What did I... Oh, I couldn't claim some capital. Well, now. Alright, and gift box. That's going to be a lot of Haro in here. So I think almost every single one of these should be your 20x, and that's 60, so that's a lot. That's enough for another multi. Alright. Exclusive PU. Actually, I'm curious. When's my next ticket exchange for this so I can keep on going? Freebie. Ooh. Okay. So step 7. Okay. So you know, 3K. I can do that. Alright. Only purple? Oh, gold. Perfect. Alright, what's my last gold part for the day? Swear to God, if it's a dupe. I have so few parts, getting a 5-star dupe would actually tilt me. Weapon. I could use a gold weapon, that'd be nice. Maybe I'll check alterations too, see what I need to alter my Kilovich. Or however you pronounce the damn thing. Is that another torso? Oh, it's backpack. Okay. Enhanced double Z Verk, huh? Well, it's definitely better than what I'm currently using, so that's a no-brainer, slap it on. It's a shame, though, because there goes my Ale backpack, but can't argue with the stats. Cool. Almost 1,200, Jesus. Okay. So that's all good, that's all good. There was something else I wanted to look at. Can't be important. Oh, right, growth hanger. That was it. So what I also want to do here, I'm going to take a quick snapshot for my thumbnail. Excellent. Now I have a thumbnail for the video later in the week. Growth hanger. Growth hanger, growth hanger, growth hanger. Let's get something growing. Yeah. Okay, free hanger. Let's throw the Kilovich in there. Perfect. Okay. So with that, gang, I'm going to wrap up. I've done everything I needed to, and this new account is going, so far, swimmingly. So with that, I will be seeing everyone. It's actually kind of interesting, because I am going to be posting or I'm going to be doing a stream, I should say, for Punishing Grey Raven when Fern Night drops in, even though it's starting tomorrow, or in a few hours, I should specify, the gacha that I'm rolling on for it doesn't start until 24 hours after that. So I'll be doing my stream for Night, for rolling Rosetta, in about 48, well, we're like 30-ish hours, maybe a little more than that. I'll play it by ear. I'll see whatever hour is comfortable for me in the morning and set a time for it. But anyways, and then later in the day, I'll be doing another GBM stream to continue playing this account, and we'll see where I am. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, watching, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I will see everyone in the next video, stream, whatever. Peace.